What's up? What's up? What's up? Listen, what you laughing at, man? How you messing up my introduction?
You know what I'm laughing at.
You gotta
Go
put your
ahead,
radio
man.
voice on, man. Listen, man. Say, Chris, let me ask you a question.
What's that? What's up, bro?
Can you pay Trey Murphy $100 million and have him still come off the bench?
Whoa. See, I was.
Being rich, one of the biggest keys to that is empowering your circle, empowering your family. Because you being rich and everybody else being broke next to you is only going to be so long before you jammed up. But if you can make an investment that empower them, they don't need to ask you for that. This is what I'm finna set up for y'all. Whoever ain't with this, don't even ask me for that. If you with this, I'm gonna make sure you gonna make more than you would anywhere else doing anything. Because you blood, you feel me? And this the way this go. And if you empower your family that way, it's just like my mom, my sister, they ain't asked me for nothing for years.
Nobody will fall because everyone will be each other's crutches. That's what Trey Murphy about to be right there.
A crutch?
No, just rich. Um, yeah, man. So listen, we did a pod. We talked about the end of the pod. It was about to be a conversation. You probably got to remind me what I was about to say, but we talked
I got
about we. Huh?
you want me to? You want me to? You want me to tell you the lie?
Yeah, 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 yeah.
All right,
CP3.
all right. So boom.
Yeah.
Lito was saying. I asked him basically if something along the lines of could you with the financial investment that you were about to give or set up or execute with Trey Murphy in this offseason. He's about to get paid over, let's over $100 million. With this money you're about to give him, can you still have him on the bench? Can he still be your sixth man? Lito was about to say something, basically saying if you are aggressive enough, or depending on the moves you make this offseason, that may not be the case. And then I thought, oh, this is just a really good conversation in total. So go ahead, bro.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So okay. So if the Pelicans do what we have been praying for them to do and be aggressive. I'm saying that because I don't remember who tweeted this, but dude he pointed out three teams who were aggressive, they went all in, and it all paid off for them.
Hmm.
I don't remember all the teams, but I know one was Boston, one was Minnesota,
And what
and
was Dallas?
one was Dallas. Yep, one was Dallas. So I look, all those moves were questionable. We laughed at all of them when they happened. We laugh. I can't really say the Kyrie trade. I'm gonna say Kyrie's value was super low at the time. His reputation was low. He just wasn't hoop. Dog. He's had a basketball renaissance in Dallas. He looked like he found his joy for playing basketball again,
Again,
and it's
yep.
evident. You know what I'm saying? The thing with the Rudy Gobert trade, we laughed at the picks. We laughed at the fit with him and Cat and Ant and yeah, and then Boston taking a chance on Porzingis. I'm saying a chance. Fuck, he could have been defensive player of the year when he was in Washington. Um, I the podcast we just did basically echoes those same sentiments with it's time for the Pelicans to take the next step. And in that taking the next step, you got a guy on your bench in the name of LaKenneth Murphy the third, who I'm not gonna give you the exact numbers. I'm gonna just tell you like this: in 57 games, obviously coming off an MCL injury, 57 games. I'm gonna give you the per 36 because this is what matters. 17.9 points a game, 38% from three on 9.5 attempts.
Mm-hmm.
Right at towards
Yep.
the end of the year, you saw a different guy. You saw a guy who started to be committed to rebounding. You saw a player who invested in weak side defense, shot blocking, even on ball defense for real. Like you saw
Mhm.
a different player, and also one of the things that I noticed, you saw a guy who started to move without the basketball.
Mhm. Mhm.
Talk to me about. Go ahead.
No, I mean you said it. So first of all, shout out to Albita and shout out to Kenny. I ain't talked to my dog in a little bit. I gotta holler at him. But um, so I remember talking to Kenny about Trey's off season and like last year and how they were gonna work on like they were working on like they had plans. They had like yearly plans.
Mm-hmm.
They had a step program on this off season. We're gonna work on this. This off season we're gonna work on this. I know a lot of people think like you just go on the off season, just work on everything. And maybe that those people exist. But Kenny, that was one of the things he mentioned about Trey. Like they had they had different things that they wanted to focus on each and every year. And um you could see some of that work come into play. Um Down the stretch, man, defensively, he became a problem.
Yep.
He became a problem at the point of attack. He became a problem in switches. He became a problem defending the rim. Using his wingspan. We talking him getting his hand on the basketball in the passing lanes. Weak side, a lot less breakdowns, rotate like defensive rotations, communicating. Trey was a lot better from the guy that we had saw coming into this season. Um, so first of all, shout out to him there.
Right.
But one of the things that's interesting with him is that, man, if he ain't nothing else, he is someone who you should want attached to Zion Williamson as long as he's in New Orleans. And Trey's a dude that he's gonna. I mean, how many teams could you name in the NBA that he wouldn't be starting on?
Mm-hmm.
Like he has an argument to start on to a good majority. I mean, we're talking over 70%, I would say, of teams in this league. So that's where the question becomes interesting for the Pelicans because if you're telling me on one hand how well we've seen it, how well him and Zion work well together, and how important Trey's skill set and Trey's ability is for Zion, how could you not have that starting? Then there's the other side of it of some of the players that you're going to possibly be replacing. You have you have a center position that you're probably going to take care of. CJ McCollum doesn't seem to be going anywhere. Herb Jones isn't coming out of starting lineup. How do you make it happen while knowing he's still going to play over 30 minutes a game? But almost putting him in a mono role. Like I know you can start, but this is the position that we have you in right now. Um, how long, Lito, can you, especially after this investment, continue to give reasons for him not to be in the starting lineup when knowing he's a starter in this league?
This is the last season. This upcoming season, this is the last. This is the last hurrah. Like this is the last time you gonna see Trey Murphy coming off anybody's bench in the NBA,
Yeah.
unless he on a team with Jason Tatum or you know what I'm saying, like just a bunch of wings who. But see, that's the beauty of his game. You know, eventually, as he gets older, he's gonna naturally gain weight, and then he could be able to play some power forward without the power form of it. You know what I'm saying? Just positionally on the court. Like that's crazy. That's crazy. That's crazy. I was just hey, but look, that was gonna get worse because I was about to say power forward without the you know what I'm saying? Like yeah, I did the best I could.
But no, but look though, you was about to. You was about to cook at the end of the last show because you were saying if the Pelicans decided to
Oh,
be
right.
ultra aggressive,
Right.
not saying that this is the move they should make or they shouldn't make. You were saying if they chose to be ultra aggressive, Trey could start next season.
Yes.
What that look like?
So look, we talk about a timeline for the Pelicans. The timeline for them would be just to people who not really aware. We were doing a show about Trey Young being traded to the Pelicans. I was saying Chris asked me a question about Trey Murphy, and my answer is, look, the timeline for the Pelicans is this: it's Zion, Trey, Herb. Right now, essentially, are your core. CJ McCollum is not a core player. If the Pelicans want to be ultra aggressive and they want to go all in, this is the summer you move CJ. This is the time you get him out of here. You trade him. For everything we heard, it sounds like they're moving. It sounds like it's 90% Brandon is going to be traded, right? You may as well do those things right now. Trade both of them. Last pod, you talked about Trey Young's contract, how he has multiple years left on his deal. You could do those. You could do that same thing. You could reroute your whole trajectory. And if you want to add to that core, that's fine. You asked me about would I be okay with X player being here with number of deals versus him, Zion, let's just say him, Trey, and Trey. I'd be totally fine with that. I think this summer, what's crazy? This is a very big summer for the Pelicans. This might be again. This might be one of the damn. It's crazy.
It's a damn shame, bro. Why we do it? Like people don't look Pelicans organization. If y'all watching this, y'all don't get tired of saying this.
Bruh.
We've been every summer since David Griffin has been in office has been a big summer. And look, that shouldn't be a bad thing because you should treat every offseason like your life on the line. But the problem is
Your life
because
always on the line.
but because every offseason wasn't treated like that, or it doesn't feel like it was treated with the same level of urgency or taking said risk, now this is a big offseason it's not looked at like from a position of leverage. It's we view it as it's almost from a level of exhaustion of us saying that this is a big off season. It's tired. Y'all ain't tired.
Because you're always working. You're always working from a menial point of view. You're looking at it from. You're not looking at it from a bird's eye view, right? You don't have the leverage to be able to see that far ahead of you. You're looking at it basically instead of being in a bird's nest, you're on an anthill. You always looking up to fight the battles instead of looking down or forward to be able to see. Because every time you climb a hill as the ant, you always get another fucking hill because you're so small and small sighted. Anyways, I was about to say this is an important offseason for the Pelicans. Yet again, this is an important offseason for the Pelicans because now you have the chance to actually reset the timeline in a way where you can gain leverage and you can work towards putting other good players around your great player. You can now add to his talent. You can work towards what he does well. However, that great player needs to be working on his game the same way this offseason. He needs to be adding to his his skill set. He needs to be doing new things with his repertoire. He needs to be dribbling with his right hand, doing right hand layups. He needs to be committed to shooting jumpers off the dribble and he got to tighten his handle up. And so for me, you add Trey Murphy to this situation. Look, let me just say this, Chris. Obviously, we talked about Trey with the injury. I talked to Kenny after his first year. Shout out to Mr. Kenny.
Yeah.
And I asked him what could Trey work on going into year 2 to be better. This might have been this is at the end. This is at the end of year 2.
Yeah.
This is at the end of year 2. He said his handle. This is going into year 3. He told me his handle. His handle got to get better. Handle got to get better. Now, during the end of season 1, I asked him, what about Trey's game do you like and what don't you like? I don't know if you're okay with me saying this, but I'm just going to say it. He said, I like that he's coachable.
Very, very coachable.
Very coachable. I hate that he's coachable.
Yep. Yep.
He told me he wished he had more of Najee in his game. Yeah, more of his mentality in order to just say, when the shit not there, fuck it. I'm gonna do me. Yeah, he wish he had more. Basically, he wish he had more fucking in his game.
More what?
More fuck it in his game.
Got it.
That was on the line. I felt like that was.
No, because when you said it with pace, it sounded a little different. So I just wanted to make sure that you were able to enunciate so the audience could hear what you said.
That's why you always play with pace. Pace and space. Look, when Trey got his legs back, when he got his legs back in March, he was a totally different player than he was in December, January, February. In March, he was averaging 17 points a game. He was shooting 8.5 threes a game at 41%. He was rebounding. He was almost at 7 rebounds a game. He started. Trey also started to pass the ball better than I've seen him pass the ball. More willing passer at that too. Because the thing with Trey is when Trey gives the ball up, he never know when he's getting it back because this team doesn't run plays for him.
Yeah.
Which is part of the problem. You go pay a guy $100 million also, and you don't have a set for him.
So let me ask something, Lito. And this is like we going a little left. If you was about to sign a multi-year $100 million deal, how much would it matter to you? Well, and you obviously know or believe or should know that you're going to start eventually, and you're a starting caliber player. How much would it matter to you spending another year on the bench?
It will matter. Me personally, it will matter to me. If before I sign that deal, I would need some guarantees in place. Like we gonna have to talk about this. I know my agent is not involved in game planning.
Yeah.
But however, one of the requirements of my contract will probably be, maybe not this season, right? But going into year 5, I need to be starting because, like you said, I'm a starting player anywhere else in the NBA. Hell, Najee Marshall is probably a starting player anywhere else in the NBA. You know what I'm saying? Like Najee Marshall probably is gonna get a lot of money. He probably will go somewhere like Toronto and be a starting small forward.
He definitely okay. So I disagree with you there because I think Najee Marshall is a serviceable player, and I think he's a rotational player. I think for almost
No.
any team.
No. Hold on, hear me out. I'm not saying this is about to sound like a diss. I'm not saying it like a diss. I'm not saying that he's not good enough to do it. I'm saying that based on the talent on the wing in the league, Najee Marshall is a starting. He could start at.
Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah, because I heard that wrong. I'm like he's a situational starter, but I heard
Yeah,
that like it's different for Trey. Like I think Trey,
that's what I'm saying.
yeah. Okay, go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. So in that case, I was just using Najee as an example.
Okay.
So if I'm Trey, I could go anywhere and be a starter. So in order for me to sign this contract with y'all, I need situations in place. I need stuff in place to say, hey dog, look, if we gonna sign this deal for the next, because Griff like doing 5-year contracts.
Yeah.
So if we gonna sign this 5-year contract, I need to know I'm gonna be a starter. You know what I'm saying?
They gotta make it a priority. They have to assure him, but they also any team should be making it a priority, saying, okay, we need to find a way to put him in the starting lineup. It's time. Like that needs to be a high end priority on this team. They need to have a plan, and the plan needs to be apparent to him. Like, okay, like listen, no matter what happens this year, you're starting next season.
Right.
Or this is what we're going to do. We are making it a plan and making it a way for you to start. I know some people that's not important. They only care about who's closing, and we know and Trey Murphy has been closing for this team. And because of people being hurt as often, he's been forced to be in the starting lineup in this team's most important games over the past, few years. But they need to now figure it out when Herb and Zion are healthy. And if Brandon Ingram is traded for a starter, no matter what, Trey Murphy is in the starting lineup. They have to. That has to be a thing. And at some point, I'm with you. How long before it gets to a point to where, like, all right, there's no if. I can, at what point is he demanding that it happens?
So check this out. He was in a dunk contest. He was in the dunk contest his rookie year. Probably gonna be in the 3-point contest this year. I think that given his growing profile around the league, I don't think the Pelicans gonna have much of a choice. Like they're gonna be forced to start him at some point.
But how do they do it? I mean,
Well,
look, it's going to happen. If he's a
yeah,
Pelican, if he signs this deal, he's going to be a starter in the near future.
yeah.
But
But
if
how do you do it? Right.
right. But how they do it? Because you figure CJ's coming back, Herb's coming back, Zion's coming back. Those are 3 starters right there. If you trade Brandon for any of these guards that we're talking about, unless they trade Brandon for parts, for tradable salary, for role players off the bench, or for a center, well, even a center, it's the same thing. If they trade Brandon for another starter, like CJ's still gonna either be the point guard or be at the 2, and you're still looking at a void at the center position. So I mean, they're not gonna be crazy and do something that did something somebody like me would do, and just say fuck it. And whoever my point guard is, CJ, Herb, Trey, and Zion are my starters. They wouldn't do that. So since they're not doing that, how do you do it with what we feel like this? How we feel like this offseason is going to go with the rest of the group?
I was about to ask you how you know they're not gonna do that, but then I remember who we talking about.
No.
Because Trey would be my situational 5 to 6 minute a game center. Like
They started to get some valuable minutes out of those smaller lineups, but they're not going to start with it. They're just not. It's just we just know that they're not.
you put Brandon at center, right? You put Brandon at center a couple games. Well, like literally a couple games, and it worked. I think
Yeah.
his minutes were positive. You think Trey You think Brandon is stronger than Trey?
No. No, actually I do.
Okay.
I do. Actually I do. But even still, those would still be situational lineups, which I can respect. I can totally understand. There's really nobody. I mean, I don't really care about nobody, but even like the Suns are starting, Nurkic, right? The Knicks start Hartenstein. That you got, the Mavericks
He
start
about to get
Lively or
a bag.
Gafford.
He about to get a
Yo, yeah,
bag
boy,
though.
he about to get paid.
He
Like,
he different though. I
yeah,
know we name his center. Yeah. Yeah.
Clippers start like everybody starts a center. So the Pelicans aren't gonna just go, say, all right, this for the season. This is gonna be our regulars. So we're gonna be looking at a new center, one way or another. There's gonna be a new face at center. So therefore, it's impossible for him to start if you trade Brandon Ingram for any of the people that we just said that they need a point guard.
That's
So
no doubt. And that's fine. Again, this year I'm okay with it. I
yeah,
understand. But however, one of the specifications for me with this team, if he's coming off the bench, you gotta marriage his minutes to Zion's minutes.
I like that
I do
marriage.
not want to see a separation in Zion on the floor or Trey on the floor and Zion not being on the floor. Like, obviously, you run everything in the floor of the game, but those two together, like you said the last pod, they should be they bro, like is it's a marriage. They gotta work together. That's one thing for me. Secondly, you gotta run plays for the dude. You gotta get him shots. And
The head coach has to be consistently wanting to run plays for the dude.
because we're gonna talk about that. No. We're gonna talk about that. Cause I want to talk about that playoff game. I want to talk about game one.
Okay.
All right. The coach, yes, has to run plays for him. And I'm not talking bro. 5 changed my mind about the 4-point shots that he takes. Because there is no space in order to get a good shot.
And that's his way
Because
of creating it.
that is his way of creating it. And a lot of times he's the only shooter out there. Right? Which the Trey Young podcast we just did would literally solve.
Would solve all of it. Solve all of it. All of it dead, gone. Like, but okay. But how about this? How about for the people? We had the conversation with your partner at Elise's graduation party,
Yeah.
where, and it wasn't just him. There were multiple people that said Trey can't create enough or can't dribble enough, can't shoot
Yeah.
on the move enough for you to consistently say we're going to run plays for him. And your rebuttal, I think Five had a rebuttal as well, was
He don't have to. He don't have to dribble. He don't look, I'm not telling you he shoots as good as Klay Thompson, but what I'm gonna tell you is he in that world. He might not be on that exact planet, but he in that world,
he can get to the
right?
club.
He
And
could
Klay Thompson got let's say he got a shooting club. That's low. Yeah, I don't, is that wild? No, that ain't wild. Let's say
you in Chicago, so
yeah. So
yeah.
so let's say he got a shooting nightclub and Trey Murphy come to the door. They patting him down, he just get right in.
Nah, he his face card is him. They know.
So let's say Jordan Hawk is with him and Trey like, I got my partner with me. Hawk, Hawk, he played a little bit better. He played a little bit. He was he was hooping. Won a chip at UConn.
Nah, he
Can he get
can't get in
in?
yet. He can't get in yet. He can't get in yet. It ain't because of ability. It's because of coaching.
We gonna have to come back to this. We're gonna come back to this.
Right down,
Not
right down the line.
I think we are okay. The shooting, the shooting club, who get it and who don't.
Right.
Written down. But go back though. Trey, Clay.
Okay. Klay Thompson has a game where he dribbled 12 times in 4 quarters and he scored 60 points. 12 dribbles. I've never in my life seen Klay Thompson try to beat Steph Curry. I've never seen it.
And it was a lot easier because he had the gravity of not just one player, but 2 players on the floor.
Well, and then you had that. But again, that's organizationally.
That goes back to our last show.
But that situation, that's an anomaly. That was a glitch in the matrix. That was not supposed to happen.
Yeah.
That was KD being, boy, he pissed me off with that. Anyways, he don't have to dribble, dog. He don't have to dribble. The only thing I do require him with his dribbling is when he does have a mismatch to exploit it. When a mismatch, I'm saying if a taller, slower player is on him, I want him to exploit that. However, coincidentally, if he has a smaller player on him, you saw this towards the end of the year last year. He started to post him up, and he was just shooting over the top.
Yeah.
I want more of that. He got to get more shots. He got to average at least 10 threes a game. He got to. There's no. I'm not bargaining on that. There's no.
How many?
Huh?
How many did he average last season? It was like 8.
Let's see.
I'm about to check right now. Hold on. I got it, coach. I got it. Yeah, just
7.8.
about 8.
Yeah.
And he averaged about 6 the year prior. Yeah. And he averaged more threes in less minutes per game.
See that? Shot 497 in 2022-23 season in 79 games. In 57 games, he shot 445. That's a man. Hey, you know what that is, though? You know, Chris, we just talked about this. That's a man who knows who he is. That's a man with an identity.
Yeah.
I know who I am. If you go
In the
back to his
mirror.
first year, he was not that man. He didn't know who everything was new for him. He ain't get it.
Yeah. Shout out to Trey. So let me ask you this, Lito. Because one of the things that, I mean, while we talking and we're asking this question, one of the things that's that's clear and it's obvious, right? Like the CJ McCollum thing. After the 24-25 season, CJ he's into the last year of his deal. Which I don't know if everyone recognizes, but after this next season, he'll be an expiring deal. And at that point, the Pelicans can, the writing is kind of on the wall for a move they would have to make. It would have to be, CJ, if you're coming back, you would have to be playing a bench role. We could offer it to you here, or we can move your services elsewhere. CJ will be 34 years old. I don't think at that particular stage of his career, with what you're trying to do with the emergence of Trey Murphy, you can say, or you will say, we're still going to have you as a starter in this league. At least not for this team. I think CJ McCollum, even going into next year and beyond, will still have starting capabilities. But now we're heading into that point of the career that Kevin Durant talked about in a podcast they did a few years ago about CJ McCollum on a winning team, his best case scenario being someone off the bench. And it might be a time where CJ's going to have to take that Jason Terry look in the mirror and say, I can still get paid, but it's time for me, for the betterment of the team, I'm best suited as a bench player. I don't know. But regardless, after the 24-25 season, he will be going into his final year. So it's clear. It's clear that you signed Trey Murphy to a max. And if you're keeping Herb, if Herb Jones is a part of your core for the future, you have Zion Williamson, no matter what you do at center, and or if you get a point guard, Trey Murphy is going to slide into one of those roles, one of those positions, whether it be shooting guard, small forward. We're in the era of positional basketball, but that's what you're looking at. What type of conversation would you be having about that with him?
Say, dog,
Considering, you know what I'm saying?
I just changed my mind. I just changed my
Okay.
mind. I don't see a reason why. However, let me say this. Let's put an asterisk by this. Again, depending on how aggressive the Pelicans are this offseason, I don't see a reason why you can't have that talk with him this summer.
What would the talk be?
Man, listen, you want to win? Do you
Okay,
want to win?
I look. We gonna play it out. We gonna play it out.
Okay.
I'm Trey Murphy. You be you.
Wait, I was talking about Christian.
Oh, well, see, that's next level. Because that's what I would be thinking as well. If they trade for a point guard, now I can't tell a man that's done what he's done in his league and he's sacrificed more than almost anybody the past few years and making himself available and giving everything that he has to the game and to the organization since he's gotten to New Orleans. But that's next level IQ. If they go trade for Trey Young, and you got to be thinking of people in the organization like, he up next. He gonna be here longer than me. CJ, you the leader, right? You want to lead us? One of the coldest things you could do is go to Trey and say,
Talk about it.
all right, you the starter now. We just got Trey Young. We just got DeJounte Murray. We just got Darius Garland. We just got whoever. You know what I'm saying? We just got, we got whoever. You the starter now. It's your time. You decide your deal. Congratulations. It's your time. I get my shots. I get my minutes. CJ, that guy. We heard him talk like that already. I'm not worried about me. I'm going to find mine.
He will.
You know, Lito, that's something that I would love to have a conversation with CJ. And because I do think he's confident enough to know that he could thrive in that role. But my question is, would he have to be the one to suggest it? Because if someone suggests it to him, it could be easy for him to look around and say,
yeah,
you want me to come off the bench?
Yeah. Yeah.
But that's he about to be 33 years. He about to be 34 years old.
No guts, no glory. You know what I'm saying? Like, at what point, you said Christian he is established. He's a name brand within the NBA. He's been to the Western Conference Finals. He's a guy who's averaged 20 points a game for 11 straight seasons now. Look, you want to win? Let the young boy take the lead on this, right? Because let me tell you what happens. Anybody out there listening to this, if you hooped and you over the age of 30, at some point throughout the year, it does not matter how great a shape you in. Playing 82 games, your body go break down. You've seen CJ in multiple seasons now start off super hot, get an injury, and just hit a wall, cannot find his legs.
And just hit a wall.
If you can keep him, if you keep bringing him off the bench, you allow him to do a couple things. Though he attacks the second unit, who are lesser NBA players than he is, more than likely, depending on obviously who they playing. Because if Drew Holiday and Derek White is, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's just a little bit different. But you attack second unit guys, he can run the offense. He gonna get his shot whenever. He can be selfish if he wants to be. I think that's a better fit for him.
So who would have to have that conversation with CJ if it, because we've been talking about, everybody's been talking about that move for a few years now, and I don't think there were times where I felt like it fit, and there were other times where I felt like no, and then there was other times where I felt like no, he ain't the one that should have to change. He's doing the changing, and he's showing up every night, and he changed his game to fit around others. Why should he have to be the one to continue to say, I'm going to change? But that is part of leadership. But who should have the conversation with him to even suggest it after Trey signs the deal?
I mean, it should be Willie. Willie should have that conversation with him.
All right.
However,
Yeah.
it's probably gonna have to be Griff.
All right. So hold on. I got some glasses up here. I don't even know what I got up here no more. If I had like I'm sure. I don't think I got nothing in my closet that CJ McCollum will wear, with all due respect. But all right, come on. We having a conversation.
You CJ?
Yeah, I'm CJ.
Um,
You be you, but be you. I'm
Okay.
me, you're you. But I'm CJ.
Strangely, I understood that. I don't.
Yeah.
Hey CJ, man. Hey, listen. It's come to my attention that organically the growth that we're trying to have as a team. I think that if we come together with a cataclysmic event of maybe moving you to the second unit, I think that it's possible a couple things could happen. Hear me out, CJ. I think that for one, we insert Trey into the starting lineup. We're still paying you. You're still a big money guy, right? That's not the issue. Let's just see how that goes. We'll move Trey into the lineup. We're about to give him a contract extension. We just want to see the growth and the compassion that he has in that spot. We've just traded for Trey Young. We got a center on the way. CJ, here's the deal. You take control of these second units, right? And you guide these guys. You guide these guys into a mission. That's not impossible. It's not impossible for you, CJ, because this is the thing that you were born to do. CJ, I think that when it all falls down, you're at this point you're like Kanye's jaw. You might break, but you don't fold, CJ. I truly believe it is dutifully uh uh repugnant of you to turn down this opportunity. And let's just say it doesn't work out, Christian, and you don't like it. Hey, maybe, All-Star break or maybe the next summer, I can trade you to a contender that you like. What do you say? That was word salad. Boy, that was a Griff word salad. Go ahead.
Why me and not someone less someone with less accolades? Why do you think that that's the move? And I'm just asking, just trying to pick your brain here. With everything that I've sacrificed here, in my short time, why me and not, let's say, even a Herb Jones?
Respectfully, CJ, I'm going to say a couple things here. Just going to add on to the verbiage that I just spewed. Respectfully, I just want to say, what accolades are you talking about? Because you know, so
I mean, when I'm talking about accolades, I'm talking about my accomplishments, post career or postseason. In the postseason, I'm talking about my consecutive streak and scoring 20 points in this league and showing and knowing what it means to do that. I'm talking about my consistency to my craft. I'm talking about the professionalism that I've brought to this organization that some would argue has been lacked and hasn't been consistent with players that are even above me, that are above my ability and to adapt on the fly, no matter what. Why am I the one that has to go to the bench? Why not someone like Herb Jones? Just want to know. Why even have a center out there? Why even have a center? Why? What's the thinking here?
Hey, and listen, CJ, those are great questions. And I can answer those questions. Respectfully, I will say this. There is no I in team, and it's not what the basketball team can do for you. It's what can you do for your basketball team. Also, I'd like to add, when you point a finger at a player, you're pointing forward back at yourself. So CJ, I would not, you are too good of a leader. to do that and don't spew that kind of negativity into the lineup. You've given me accolades stat wise that you have achieved, but I just want to know, do those stats keep you warm at night? And would you like to add a ring to it?
Not bad. Not bad. Not bad. Not bad. Not bad.
I'm just
Um,
saying. I mean, I think this is summer to do it. Like, if you're gonna do it, you might as well just like, bro, make the move this summer.
well, yeah, because um, I still believe, I don't believe that anyone's gonna properly even have that conversation. I don't even know if you can have the conversation. I think, oh wow, well they agree. I think you got to make. I think you more so would have to make the decision. And I don't know if anyone has the gall to make that call this early. Um, I think it would have to come from him. And I'll be interested if, and this is all if they add a point guard. If they add one of these point guards that they've been linked to and Brandon Ingram is gone, or even, yeah. If they do that, then I'd be interested in CJ having that conversation. But if not, it goes back to how much longer is CJ McCollum going to be in a starting role before you're having a different conversation and beyond about moving on from him, because that it clearly, for there was a time where it was Herb Jones is blocking Brandon Ingram. I mean, Trey Murphy from starting. Then it was Brandon Ingram was blocking him from starting. And
Yeah.
now, if Brandon Ingram's gone and Herb has solidified himself in his overall importance as an IQ, as a shooter now, and of course on the defensive side of the ball, then it's CJ McCollum. And for contract reasons, of course, we're right around the corner from there. So interesting.
What if Herb Jones is the guy that they also decide to move? I mean, Herb's. I'm not wishing this, but I'm saying Herb value never going to be higher.
I mean, look, man, like, look, there's a gamble, because again, you are talking about what's Herb's ceiling in this league. And I'd be curious what that would look like in regards to a return. I would imagine Herb's value is, like you mentioned, it's never going to be as high. But I think his value as an intellectual, his work, the fact that he's low maintenance, and of course, is such a defender, such a smart overall player, and in some cases, very has some clutch moments as well. Um, if you were being aggressive and you said, you know what, I'm gonna take the risk and bet on this being the best version of him and move him now, I probably wouldn't be on board with it right now as much as I was at the trading deadline, depending on who you get back. But I would be mad at it because it's something that we don't see this organization do. Because you don't make trades like that when a player is playing when a player is playing bad. I mean, everybody wants you to trade them then, but the ones that come with risk are the interesting ones. Those are the ones that send messages. Those are the ones that say, damn, if they could trade Herb after the year he had, but they improved the team. Oh, okay, I see what the focus is here. If you decided to move him off value, if this was a stock game, and you say, all right, this he could get better, but what are the odds? What's the likelihood?
Great.
And you decided to move him, I would applaud the thought and the thinking behind it, because that's telling me that
You're serious.
now you're serious. And with being serious comes failure.
Yep.
And it comes risk, but you got to be willing to take the risk. Now, I've accepted Herb as being an important piece of this team going forward. I have, but at some point, someone needs to ask, and it's an okay question to ask to me. If he shoots 38% next year from three, are you disappointed? If he shot 41, well, what?
Yeah.
He shot 42%. He ain't shooting 45. Like,
Yeah.
what
How
do you
much
want him
better
to
can
get
he
better
get?
at? How much
Exactly.
better can he get? And how much better can he get in this particular offensive system? Because if
That's a
Trey ain't getting
show.
plays for him,
That's a show.
write it down. Hold on. Write it down.
How
Because
much better? Yeah.
how much better can he get? And if you tell me you don't know, and you don't put the other stars around him, or I mean around the Pelicans, you don't add the other pieces to make him look like as important as Aaron Gordon is for Denver. You know what I'm saying? If you don't add the other pieces and get Zion his Jamal Murray, if you think Trey Murphy is Michael Porter Jr., if you don't get Zion his Jamal Murray, then how is Herb gonna be? Aaron Gordon will be a lot less valuable for Denver. Is what I'm saying.
Because here's the thing, Herb has expectations now. Herb has expectations. You shot 3.6 threes a game. You can't revert back. You got to shoot at least 4.5 now. You know what I'm saying? That's a whole.
That's a whole different. So again, I accept him as a part of this core, and I picture him alone with Zion and Trey Murphy, and hopefully the point guard they trade for years to come, and whoever off the bench that they include in this this next journey, this next stage for this team. But if they came to me and said, "Yo, Chris, we don't want to trade Herb Jones, but we're going to take a gamble and a risk to move him, to put Trey Murphy in this starting lineup and take advantage of Herb's value now," I couldn't get mad at that. I couldn't get mad because that tell me you thinking. Even if I don't agree with it, if I wouldn't have did it, you thinking.
You thinking? Yeah, I'm down for that. Like that's
a show. So all right. So we got the 3-point shooting club, or whatever the skill club is. It's a long off season. We got a lot of shit to talk about. And we got how much better can Herb Jones get?
It was one more, huh? It was one more. I think it was one more.
And one more?
I think we'll rewatch it. Don't worry about it.
Oh yeah. Okay. All right. Well, you got something else?
Yeah, man. I just wanted to say this. When you were CJ McCollum and you was asking, you was listening to your accolades, and Griff was sitting across listening. This is what Griff was saying. This is what Griff was saying when you was like, "What about my accolades?"
I'm asking like, what does that do for you?
Oh wait, hold up. We can't leave like that. You got something else? You got something else?
Nah.
Believe in what you believe in. Fuck who don't believe in you. Ain't nobody believed in me. Right. Fuck everybody who riding, who ain't riding, fuck them.